Hey, but did you know, people, there is a doubleheader in Major League Baseball today. Game number 1 starting at 5:03. Game number 2 at 8:08. And we'll start with that 8:08 game. The Los Angeles Dodgers on the road with Blake Snell, the left-handed pitcher, going to get the start going up against Quinn and a line that sits anywhere between -145 to -155, depending on where you're shopping. The Dodgers and the Brewers. The spread line is what, Joe?
Well, it shouldn't be surprising, right, that the lower-seeded Dodgers are favored. Don't forget, I mean, the Brewers had the best record in Major League Baseball. They have home field advantage throughout the playoffs as long as they are in it. While this game price is one thing, Donnie, it was the series price that stuck out to me, with the Dodgers being over a $2 favorite in this one here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the simple fact that the Dodgers finished off your Phillies in 4, which allowed them to set up their rotation in a real easy way. You're going to have Snell. You're going to have Yamamoto. You're going to have Glass now. You're going to have all the guys that you thought they would have on regular rest. In the meantime, you're going to have the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, they're going to have to cobble together a couple of innings from this guy, from that guy, Quintana, is it Priester? They've got to be able to weather this storm, much like Seattle did. The bottom line to me is I would go ahead and grab the Brewers series price now, Donnie, because if they do what they did during the regular season, which was go 6-0 against these Dodgers, then that number that you're looking at right now for them will not be there come tomorrow morning, much like that number on Toronto or Seattle. Yeah, that number yesterday is no longer available in the market for the series winner as well.
No, it's not. Toronto with the early lead yesterday ended up getting beaten by Seattle. So Seattle is a 1-0 series lead. A 5:03 start today. Seattle and Toronto for game number 2. Castillo versus Savage. You take a look at the spread line here, Joe. -125s overnight, increasing towards Toronto and their young pitcher as high as a -140 and a total of 7.5. Your spread line tonight, Joe, for Seattle and Toronto is what?
Well, what did we learn from that game last night, right? Because the narrative was Blue Jays, much like the Dodgers, handled their business. They're able to set up their rotation the way they want. And what happened? Well, great. Congratulations. Mariners win 3-1 because your bats went cold. But let's not forget, Donnie, that was one game, and this is still the best home field advantage in Major League Baseball. This team was absolutely dominant at home here. It was a rough go last night, but you got to expect them with the rookie on the mound to bounce back here. If you didn't take Toronto in the series price yesterday, Donnie, now might be the time that you want to jump in on them for this one, because if they split this, they win at home here, go on the road to Seattle. Yeah, it's I think it's going to be very hard to match this plus price you're getting right now.
Major League Baseball underway. Of course it is. It's the playoffs with the ALCS and the NLCS now officially underway. At least one of those sides has already had a game played. That's the ALCS. If you're watching last night, how about that? Toronto scores in the bottom of the first inning, takes that 1-0 lead. And then we wait. Second inning, third inning, fourth inning, fifth inning, till the sixth inning, till Toronto played 2 runs, then tacked on another in the eighth. A 3-1 victory for the Seattle Mariners on the road, now taking back home field advantage and a 1-0 series lead against the Toronto Blue Jays. How about that pitching performance last night by Mr. Miller? 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Love to see that.
Well, it wasn't looking good in the first inning. I think he had 20. It was a 27-pitch first inning, and he was kind of lucky to be able to get out of it with just I believe the first pitch of the game. Springer took it yard, and then it was like, oh boy, here we go. But he really settled down after that, gave them 6 innings, and gave his team an opportunity to be able to compete, and that they did against that bullpen. But Seattle's bullpen comes in, Miller, Spire, Brash, Munoz, they all come in, and man, oh man, very impressive stuff by Seattle. And I think Toronto kind of let one get away there last night, but surprise, it ain't the New York Yankees. I do expect a better effort offensively from them coming up in this game today.
Sometimes, Joe, right, riding emotion here. You saw that Game 5 victory, which went endless into the night, and Toronto was waiting on them. But also understand this. I do want to give a shout-out to Aaron Judge and also Cal Raleigh for their playoff performances so far. Like, Cal Raleigh's hitting 400. Aaron Judge hit like 500. So two worthy MVP guys have good runs here. We'll just see if, Cal Raleigh can actually cash this in. But when I sent a tweet out that's like, yeah, we like extra inning baseball, but the ghost runner was there for a reason in the regular season because you can't have long games. Also, situational hitting is atrocious in Major League Baseball. And yes, the Mariners still won, but they were 2 of 10 with runners in scoring position last night. Like, look at the batting averages in the playoffs for that Mariners lineup, which looks really good on paper. 148 of Rosarania, 200 Julio Rodriguez, 231 for Polanco, 222 for Naylor, 120 for Eugenio Suarez, Canzone 100, Robles 167, JP Crawford 217. We just can't hit the baseball, but the Mariners coming away. Any chance there, Joe? We're going to break down the game tonight. Was that an emotional win for the Mariners where now you decompress a little bit and Toronto gets the edge tonight? Any thoughts on them winning, then going on the road and winning game number 1?
Well, I mean, listen, quite honestly, at the Rogers Center, 3 runs shouldn't have been enough to beat this Toronto team the way they were swinging the bat. If anything, to me, it was Toronto exhaled after beating the Yankees. So, I mean, it was clear the energy that I watched last night with this Toronto was not the same energy they had going up against the big, bad New York Yankees. And they need to find that edge again here because Guerrero looked a shell of what he did in that series against the Yankees. So, I mean, he had 4 at-bats and hit 3 weak ground balls. So, kudos to the pitching staff of Seattle. But I don't think Seattle did anything extraordinary. I just think Toronto lost its edge in that game there, and that's what you got. A first pitch home run and then nothing else, Donnie.
Now, sometimes we talk about veterans that are used to the environment, used to playing in bigger baseball games, been around the block and not going to get nervous. I'm not downplaying that some, young pitchers can't handle situations. But tonight, Joe, 5:03 start. Seattle's going to throw Castillo. Toronto's going to throw Yusevich in this game. Minus 126 is the opening number. The public is buying into a bounce-back performance from Toronto and a total that's listed at 7.5. The veteran versus the kid. Any ideas of the way you would play that, even regardless of how you think these pitchers will be, that maybe it's just too big of a spot for a young kid?
Well, I mean, the last spot of it is probably no bigger spot than having to go up against the Yankees, right?
That's true.
That was a huge spot for him. And listen, he passed it. His stuff is electric. Make no mistake about it. I mean, he's more than capable of mowing them down. But unlike the Yankees, Toronto does a pretty good job of working counts. They put the bat on the ball. They force you to make some plays. So we'll see if he makes some mistakes. I think you are more likely to see this Toronto lineup take advantage of it, or this Mariners lineup rather to take advantage of it than we've gotten with the Yankees. So I like this kid. He is exactly the guy down 0-1 I think Toronto wants on the mound. Now they got to go out there, though, and handle business against Castillo, who's always been better in Seattle than he has been on the road.
Yeah, it should be a great environment there up in Toronto. If you are Toronto, you want to score first again here. Keep the crowd on your side. You don't want to get down 2 runs in the first 5 innings and, oh, no, down 0-2, heading back to Seattle. The series is just about over. The 7.5, Joe, if I look at that myself and say we get a 3-1 game here, and we're not worried about anything, baseball in October, it's really cold in the Northeast or whatever it is. It's a dome stadium, so you should have a pretty good hitting atmosphere. Any thoughts on the total in this game?
Yeah, I would look more or less here, Donnie, I think runs could be coming in this one because Snell, is feast or famine, right? So he's either going to strike out 12 guys, which I don't think he's going to do against the Brewers, or he's going to walk 6 guys. The bullpen's going to get involved. Anytime I'm dealing with this bullpen of the Dodgers, short of a 2-hitter by Snell going 7 innings, I think there's an opportunity in the second half of this game to get some runs here. And they're going to have to cobble together enough innings once again, this Brewers team. To me, this could be a 5-4, maybe a 5-3 situation here. So that's the way I would look at it. I would look at the over in this spot.
How about the Dodgers and Milwaukee? Snell's going to be on the mound. He was brilliant in his first start here against the Philadelphia Phillies. You take a look at minus 148 price points here, minus 150s, depending where he's shopping at, in a total of 7.5. It's amazing to me. Like, this is game 1 of a series, which you weren't rushed into it, if you will. We don't even know who's going to be a starter. And you take a look at the Brewers, it's amazing they've gotten this far. It could be Quintana, Priester, an opener, or just a bullpen game. how crazy Major League Baseball is at time. The Dodgers have a clear advantage tonight. Is that enough for the victory for the Dodgers? Or say, hey, man, look at Milwaukee's been doing this all year, but you don't even really have a pitching staff for game number one? It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Milwaukee, but it was a tough spot for Seattle. And the only difference is Milwaukee is still at home after the celebration and doing what they need to do. Don't have to fly back out to LA. Plus, they already have the confidence of going 6-0 against the Dodgers this year. They know the lineup, they know the hitters. I give the edge early to Milwaukee in this one.
Woohoo! Let's see if the Brew Crew can continue on to a World Series run.